Hey guys, welcome to Switch Tech Solutions. Today we are going to be doing a beginner's guide to the Packet Tracer simulation tool. This tool is essential when troubleshooting networks and is also a fantastic learning tool for better understanding and in-depth knowledge of the interworkings of devices, communication, and network protocols. So let's get right into it. First of all, let's talk about what simulation mode is. As you probably know if you've used Packet Tracer, everything works in real time. So if you pinged from one computer to a different computer, the ping would go through as long as the network requirements are right in real time. All networking protocols work in real time. All the devices communicate in real time. All of it is a direct simulation of how the devices would work in real life. Now this is great for testing or building networks, but if you're trying to really understand the inner workings of what's going on, it can be difficult to do it in real time when we're not able to actually see what's going on behind the devices. So what simulation mode does, it allows us to peer directly into the devices and see what packets they're sending, what the packets contain, what routes they take, and it really allows us to understand not only the communication, but specific protocols that are being used in the network. So let's get right in and let's talk about this. The first thing I want to show before we get into simulation mode is how the real-time function works. Because once we understand how it works, there's actually a few buttons that allow us to really expedite certain processes and make it faster. As we see in the background, 3 switches are turning on and they're connected to 3 different PCs. And at this point, the network is fully running, everything is happening in the background, and it's all in real time. But there's a couple other things that we can actually do to speed this up and change things. And that involves all the tools in this blue bar at the bottom here. We see we have a couple different buttons we can use. The first one allows us to power cycle and turn off and turn on all the devices. The next allows us to actually fast forward the time in the real-time simulation. And then of course we have the real-time and simulation buttons that we can toggle. So let's test this. Power cycle all the devices. We see they've all been turned off and all the connections are gone. Click the skip button and it actually lets us zoom right through all that time we would have waited. The devices are now completely booted up and this network is ready to go. This really speeds up the real-time process. So now that we've checked out the real-time aspect of Packet Tracer, let's go into the simulation mode. Go down to the simulation mode button and click on it. We've now frozen time and we have this whole new window here on the right for us to use. The first thing that really pops out is this event list filters. Let's click on the edit filters button. What this is it's highlighting what protocols are going to get shown in the simulation mode. And we have a couple options with IPv4, IPv6, and miscellaneous ones. And there is a lot of protocols here. Actually, just starting out, simulation mode can be quite overwhelming because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So let's try and limit this and just take a look at one protocol. So go down to the bottom right and click Show None. This removes all the protocols and then click back on Edit Filters. And as you see, all of them have been deselected. In this example, we're going to be taking a look at the STP protocol. So go to the miscellaneous and find STP, click it, and then exit out. By doing this, we're limiting simulation mode to only show us the STP protocol. Nothing else will be shown. Once we actually get going into the simulation mode, we're going to take a look at the event list on the right side. This is going to show all the events that are happening and theoretically should show all our STP packets. So to get started, let's go over to the play controls. We have 3 buttons here. We have back, play, and then forward. By clicking any of these, we can go forward, back, or even stop the timing with our simulation mode. Click the forward button, and we immediately see 3 packets being sent from the switch on the right. We have 1 to the PC, and 1 to each opposite switch. And we're going to stop the video right here and just talk about this briefly. So as we see, The 3 packets have all been sent out, and if we look in the event log, we also see 3. And it breaks it down really nicely for it. It tells us what the time was that it was sent, the last device it was at, it all came from that switch 2, and then which device that packet is currently at. So we can actually follow a packet in its entire lifetime. Now, before we get in any deeper, what we can do is we can actually click on each packet, either in the workspace or in the simulation panel event list, and we can go deeper and actually look at each packet and all of the information inside it. And specifically with STP, we are going to look for the BPDU, and that's going to contain the root path cost. And that cost is going to designate what path is going to be shut down. So the shortest path will be kept up, and the one with the higher number will be shut down. So let's take a look at this first packet. We can click on it, and we have all this information here, but let's go to the inbound PDU details. We scroll down, we have all this information here, but we see here we have the STP BPDU. And we actually have right there the root path cost, which is 0. So that means that the switch 2, the one that sent out the packet, has won the election in STP and is going to be the root path. Let's check out the other packet. Scroll down for the BPDU, and we see it also has a path cost of 0. So let's keep going and watch these other packets. Couple more sent to PCs. They obviously failed because this is meant for a switch. Let's go to this last one and check out the root path cost. That root path cost is 4. That means that the path between the top switch and the bottom switch there has a higher cost. Now we can assume that because of that, that is the path that is going to be blocked by STP. So let's continue going forward with simulation mode. We can watch all these packets go, and eventually we will see what happens with our network and how STP decides what port to shut off. Keep clicking, and wow, there we go. We have our first path that is turned on here. Our second path has now turned off, and as we see on our third path, the one between switch 3 and switch 1, it has been turned off by STP. Now I'm not going to go much further as this isn't a video dedicated to STP. What this video really is dedicated to simulation mode. But hopefully this has really shown how valuable this simulation mode is. This is just a single protocol in a very small network. If we go to the edit filters, there are tons of different protocols you can look at. When you're learning or trying to understand how things work, get into Packet Tracer, build a quick small network, do a couple little configurations, and watch as certain protocols function. It's going to help you understand in your studies. It's going to help you understand how to solve different Packet Tracer problems, and it's really going to help you when you have to configure these things in the real world. Having a good understanding of how things simulate and work in the real world will be invaluable for your IT career. So make sure to use simulation mode as much as you can and really maximize the potential of Packet Tracer. Thank you guys so much for watching. That concludes this tutorial for Cisco Packet Tracer. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you in my next video.